Hi, my dad and I are going to teach you to configure the Raspberry Pi 4. We are going to install the operating system on this 32GB micro SD card, then log into the Pi and show you how to set it up. So this is the Samsung 32GB Evo, and this is the Samsung SD adapter.
And that's normally it's recommended that you use 32 gigabytes, but you could use more. You just gotta do a different. You have to set it up differently. So just go with 32 for now. This is the setup we're showing today. So go ahead, show them what you're gonna do with the card.
So I'm gonna put this 32GB into the card. Okay. Putting it in. And then I'm gonna go in the back of the computer and I'm gonna put the flash drive or
SD card.
SD card in here. Okay.
And then we're gonna get to work on the computer, so we'll go into the computer screen now. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do, Nathan. Go ahead, show them.
Okay, so first you want to go to the sd.org. sdcard.org, and you want to go to downloads, and then you want to go to.
You want to pick the right one for your operating system. So you might want to get, if we're using the Mac, so we're gonna get the Mac. But if you have Windows, you can get the Windows one. And if you're using Linux, then you probably have to get your own formatter. But we're gonna be using the Mac, so you're gonna click on the Mac, and then you're gonna scroll down. Scroll down, all the way down. And you're gonna go accept. And it'll start downloading. And she clicked it 3 times, but it'll start downloading. And then you're going to go to.
You want to go to raspberrypi.org. And then you want to go to downloads. And then you want to go to noob. So apparently I'm a noob.
Yeah, she's definitely a noob. And so am I. And there's 2 options. You get the offline network install and the network install. It's up to you if you have internet or not. With these Pis, you can pick if you have Wi-Fi or if you have an Ethernet, you can connect both of those options during right before installation, so it won't be a problem if you do the network install, because you can configure that. So we're gonna do we've already downloaded this, so we don't need to do it again because we've already set up a couple Pis, but you would do this one and download the zip, and then we'll show you what comes up. So when after you've downloaded, here are your downloads, and then you see your SD card formatter, and I'm gonna just delete these because it's gonna be too many. And then you're gonna do right click it, and then you're gonna open with archive or the unarchiver. But essentially on a Windows also you're gonna want to extract that file. And then after you extract that file, and I'm going to move that to the trash because we already have this. But after you extract that file, you're going to get the installation of this application. And you put that, you're going to drag that file into your applications, and you're going to have this right here, which is SD card formatter. And then you're going to click on that. And once that opens, it's going to ask you, you've already inserted your SD card. So now, Nacy, go ahead and take over. It's going to say quick format. You're going to click quick format and make sure that the SD card that you have in is the only one. That way you don't reformat another card. And then actually we can label this. Do Pi and label it Pi 3. And that's gonna be the name of the card.
So then you press format.
Yeah, you press format,
Continue.
And you got to be careful here because this is going to erase anything that you have in that card. I'm going to type password. Okay, so yeah, it's been successfully formatted. So you're going to close that window.
And it's right there.
Now you're going to install the noobs that you downloaded from here. So here is the one that we're going to be using, this one right here, noob zip. So you have to do the same thing with this one. You have to right click it, open with archive or unarchiver, and extract it. So you're going to extract that file. So depending on if you have a Windows or Mac, but regardless, you're going to extract it. So, and then you're going to open that file, and it's this one here. So all these files need to get selected. So you need to select all those files, and you can do it one by one or all of them at the same time. So you can hold down Command on the Mac or Control on the Windows, I believe, and you select them all like this, or you can just do Command A on a Mac and it selects them all. And then you're going to hold down the clicker and put it inside this one, the Pi 3. And so that's going to copy all those items into the Pi 3 SD card. And as soon as that's done, we're going to show you how to turn it on and configure it. So as soon as this is done, we'll go ahead and do that.
So quiet.
So one thing we can show you is it actually comes with instructions, an instructions file, and you can read through that as well. But this is the formatting that it does. That formatter does this. It creates a FAT32 formatting. And that's almost done. So when that's done, now we can go ahead and eject it. So right click, Nisi, right click the Pi 3. So you're going to right click the Pi 3 icon and eject it. Eject it. Scroll down a little bit. Yep. And now you're safe to take it out of your computer. Just make sure you eject it out of your computer first, and then you take it out, pull it out of your computer. All right, so we're going to stop the video here, and we're going to get back to showing you how to insert the card and configure. One thing I forgot to show is there's kind of something really kind of important. This is for security reasons. When we downloaded the noobs file, it comes with what's called a SHA-256, and it's just an algorithm. It's a one-way function basically that describes this number right here has got to be the same as when you pull it down, because otherwise it shows that somebody could have taken this file and modified it, and if they modified it, then they could have injected something that's not supposed to be doing. So in order to check that on a Mac, you would do, on Windows I'm not sure, but on a Mac you would do SHA, you would, on the command line, you would do ls, and you were going to show the file you just downloaded, which is noob. It's called noob. And so what you would do is you do SHA sum. Let me make this bigger. SHA-SUM dash A 256, and then noob. You can tab to see which one you want to check. If you press the tab button, it'll show you the different options. And so I want to do the v320.zip. And so this will take a little bit, but it shows you a number that's supposed to match this number here. If it doesn't match that number, it means that somebody has essentially corrupted the file, has switched out the file for their own file, and it's not the legitimate one anymore. So if that number is different from yours, if this number that we're populating right now is different from this one, then I wouldn't use it. But as soon as this is done, okay. So then now what I do is I copy this number, copy the number, and then I Command F or Control F to search. On Windows it's Control F, and then paste that number in there. And as you can see, that number is the correct one. It highlights the exact number. You see the last numbers is 434E. Last numbers is 434E and that number. And DO5BD, DO5BD. So those are the first few numbers. So yeah, that's the right file. And I just want to show you that, just so you guys, as you guys go on, you don't download stuff that you shouldn't be using.
Okay, so now that we've got all that stuff out of the way, I'm going to show you how to put this 32 gigabyte Samsung Evo into the Pi. So you have to take it out, of course, and while you're putting it in, you have to put it in facing this way. So, and then you're going to put it in under here, right there. It's kind of hidden. Okay, so now you want to put it in. You have to make sure you push it in all the way. Okay, now that you've pushed that in, you have to get the power supply, and you want to plug it in this spot right here.
See if we can get that in there. Yep, go ahead. Make sure you're holding the back of it. Push it more. Yep.
There. And then this computer should turn.
Yeah, it starts booting up, and then actually we're gonna need to plug in take that thing out and put it in one of these. So that's the keyboard. We have a USB keyboard, and we're gonna plug it in. No, it's fine. You gotta. It's a little bit weird, I know.
I feel like I'm gonna break it. You do it.
Hold it. Alright, so now we've got a screen up, and it's saying, so you got a few options. Right now you can configure your Wi-Fi. So you can go into Wi-Fi networks, but we don't really care to do that right now. We can do that later. Or you can do it now, but we're just gonna do it right now. So what'll happen is, if you configure your Wi-Fi network, more options will pop up, more operating systems. I mean, so if you want another operating system, this will have different ones, but we're gonna go with Raspian. That's the one we're gonna show you. So go ahead and click on Raspian. Click on it on the box. And then we're going to go to install. And it prompts you, it's going to say, warning, this will install selected operating system. All existing data on the drive will be overwritten. So anything that's in there, it shouldn't have anything else on there except for the noobs thing that you uploaded in there, so it's fine. So go ahead, Nacy. Click yes. And then it starts doing its thing. So this is gonna take a while. I would say, at least, I would say give it 15-20 minutes. to come back and start booting up. So we're gonna stop the video and it's gonna go through some things here, and you can sit there and watch it if you want. It's got a whole lot of information on the programs it has in it, but this will install a good bit of programs, and then once we get back in, we'll show you some more. But we'll stop the video here and wait for this to boot up.
Oh, and don't forget to comment down below and give us a big thumbs up.
Yes.
And click the notification button too.
Yes.
Okay, so now that this has successfully installed, we are going to press OK.
It says OSs are already installed successfully.
Gotta wait a little bit.
Everything's loading up right now.
Yep, might take a little bit.
This is our first time configuring this. We don't really have a screen viewer, so go ahead and go to next there. So it says here, welcome to Raspberry Pi desktop. Before you start using it, there are a few things to set up. Go ahead and click next. All right, go click on country.
No.
United States.
Where is it?
Right there. American English, and then you go to time zone. Scroll down, keep going, and there's an option for your wherever you're located. We're just gonna go with New York, but you pick whatever you want. Go ahead and click use English language. Use US keyboard. Press next, and so it starts setting up your location. And so we're gonna type in our new password here. I'm gonna pause the video to go ahead and actually go ahead and hold this.
Just to click the box. Yep, just type in the password.
So right now it's going to be searching for the networks that you have, whether it's Wi-Fi or if you've got it connected to the Ethernet. And we're going to go ahead and connect it to the Wi-Fi now. You want to make sure you change your password for the Raspberry Pi, because it comes, I think the default password is Raspberry, if I'm not mistaken. And so if anybody gets onto your network and finds your Raspberry Pi and it has a default password, you're in bad shape. So just change your password like I just did. So right now we're connected to the Wi-Fi. And it's gonna ask you for software updates. We're gonna go ahead and
skip it.
Skip for now. We're gonna skip it for now, but you should do next, and it'll prompt you to do your updates. But right now we're gonna skip it because we want to download. I want to download a software to be able to share my screen with you guys rather than having to hold my phone up. And so we'll restart it later. This is asking me if I want to restart it. I'm going to restart it later so that all the settings take place. But I'm going to pause the video so that I can get that software that I need to record the screen, and then we'll start recording our screen. All right, so I'm going to show you how to configure the Raspberry Pi after it's booted up. I'm going to show you with the graphical interface instead of the command line, which is here. But we can probably go over that if someone wants me to do that eventually. My daughter's not here right now. She had to leave, but let's do this. Preferences, click on the Raspberry, go to Preferences, go down to Raspberry Pi configuration, and then here you're going to go and change your password if you haven't changed your password. I already did, and I told you guys to do that from the beginning. Here you're going to change your host name. So your host name is the name of your computer, whatever you want the name of your computer to be. Not your username, but this is your host name, the name of your computer. So I'm going to label it worker 4 because I'm doing some setup later that I'm going to need that for. Boot to desktop, that means that when your computer starts, it's going to open up with this screen that you see here, and it won't open up into this screen. This is the CLI, the command line interface. Login is user pi. This, you want to make sure you uncheck it, because what happens is if you leave this checked, anybody can log into your computer, and as soon as they turn the computer on, it's already logged in as the user pi, which has all the privileges. So you don't want this. So you uncheck that. Network at boot, wait for network. We don't need to worry about this. Splash screen, that's fine as well. Composite video, we don't need to worry about that either. Interfaces, here are some things that you can enable if you want. Camera, SSH. SSH is secure shell, which allows you to use the terminal. Right now I don't have it enabled, and I will enable it eventually, so that I can log in from my other Pi to this Pi, and I can probably show that some other time. VNC, that's what it's allowing me to do right now, which actually I'm on my Mac right now, working on my Raspberry Pi. Any of this other stuff we're not going to worry about. Performance, GPU is defaulted to 64, which is fine. Locale, here's where you set your where you're located, your time zone, the keyboard in English. You're going to set your Wi-Fi and all that, but I think we already did that from the beginning. But if you haven't done so, then you would go in here. We're going to leave it at English, United States, UTF-8. The time zone, obviously whatever time zone you're located in. Click OK. Set keyboard. Generic 105. This is all the basic stuff that I'm going to just leave it as default. Set Wi-Fi country, United States, default. And then after you're done, everything looks good. You got your host name. You've already changed your password. You're going to just click OK. And so this is going to ask you to reboot. And you want to go ahead and click yes. I'm not going to click yes because it's going to delete my video. But you can go ahead and click yes. Actually, it won't delete my video, but I'm not going to do this right now. You can click yes, reboot now, and then your computer reboots, and then it's going to ask you to log in. As before, it wasn't asking you to log in. It just automatically popped you into the screen. So go ahead and click yes. It'll reboot, and then you sign in, and you're good to go.